Round 13 of DTM 2024, and for the first time in the history of the championship, an Indian driver on pole position. Arjun Maini led the charge with Max Powell lining up alongside after a drying track in qualifying and really mixed the grid up. Maini led then on the way into turn one, the first race of the weekend at the Red Bull Ring, but it was a great start from Maro Engel in the white number 130 Mercedes. He drew alongside the Max Powell Lamborghini, and on the outside of the German driver was the Italian Mirko Bortolotti, three abreast on the way into turn three on the first lap of the race in the battle for second place. Bortolotti trying to go all the way around the outside in the Lamborghini, but Maro Engel got second place and then dived at the inside of fellow brandmate Maini to get the lead of the race later on the opening lap. So Engel led, Maini into second place, and then from fourth up to third for Mirko Bortolotti. Two of the top three in the championship charging at the front of the field, but with Kelvin van der Linde, the championship leader, trying to come from way back down in 17th place on the grid. Bortolotti next to pounce on the way into turn four. He moved ahead of Arjun Maini, so straight up to second place now on a track which was damp at the start, and most of the drivers, except for Clement Schmidt, starting on wet tyres. It was still greasy though, and out wide at turn three went Maro Engel. That was the only opportunity that Mirko Bortolotti required. The Italian getting into the lead of the race, the second in the championship ahead of third in the championship. A replay showing that Maro Engel was just unable to get the car turned in on the wet tyres as they began to deteriorate. Clement Schmidt then starting on the slick tyre, but everybody wanting to stay out to avoid having to make two pit stops, trying to wait for the pit window to open. Thomas Preining was coming from his worst grid position since his very first weekend of the championship in 2022. The reigning champion battling away with Kelvin van der Linde as they tried to work their way up towards the points. Into the mandatory pit stop window then, and Bortolotti came in and, like everybody else, changed from wet tyres to dry on a now pretty much dry race track. Bortolotti in commanding position here on a track where he felt the Lamborghinis would struggle in dry conditions. This could be a real opportunity and a chance to move into the championship lead. Clement Schmidt, who'd started the race then on the slick tyre, sliced his way through from 20th on the grid. This was a move on Sheldon van der Linde on the way into turn three. And after the pit window, he would emerge all the way up in fourth place in the Dur Motorsport McLaren. Kelvin van der Linde was having a wild battle with René Rast as they worked their way up towards the top 10. Rast from 15th on the grid and got all the way up to 8th place on the first lap, but he lost a place here, having run wide through turn four. And then later on in the race, a wild McLaren, being driven by Clement Schmidt, the Austrian, went very wide at turn 9, so through into turn 10, Kelvin van der Linde gained a position. The South African trying to limit the damage from his worst grid since the end of the 2022 season at Hockenheim. So Bortolotti led, Engel in second, Maini in third place, with Lucas Stolz, Sachsenring race winner, up into fourth place, and Ian Nguyen having a good race in fifth place. Bortolotti pushing on as Maro Engel started to close the gap, which had come down from a second and a half to just 1 second. Bortolotti having to dig deep to try and get the extra 5 championship points that would come with the first race win for the Italian since Sachsenring 2023. He held on, pulled back away, and Bortolotti became the 10th different winner of the 2024 season, with Maro Engel coming home in second.
You are my hero.
Third place went to Arjun Maini from pole position, and Bortolotti moves into the championship lead now, 10 points clear of Kelvin van der Linde, who was able to salvage a top 10 finish from near the back of the grid. Maro Engel up to third in the championship with his 5th podium finish from the last 6 races. Only a dozen points now between the top 3 in the championship, with 84 points still available. Behind the top 5, Max Powell with his best result of the season in 6th ahead of Lucas Auer, Kelvin van der Linde, René Rast and Ricardo Feller. 11th place to Sheldon van der Linde. Thomas Preining continued his run of finishing in the points. That's now 29 races on the trot in the points for the Austrian driver, with Nicky Tim, Jack Aitken and Clement Schmidt rounding out the top 15 as we look forward to race 2 here at the Red Bull Ring.